Hey guys, it's Drummond. So today's video is going to be on whether or not you can be friends with your ex. So I've been in plenty of relationships and very few of them have ended in me being friends with my ex-boyfriends. When it comes to being friends with someone who you've broken up with or they've broken up with you, it really depends on how the breakup happens. I feel like if it's on mutual terms, meaning maybe someone's moved away and you just don't see the relationship going anywhere, but you still care about each other, I feel like the relationship can probably move into a friendship and it would work out perfectly fine. But if there's cheating involved or other things that have caused heartbreak, I feel like it'd be a lot harder for there to be a friendship after the relationship. I also think when it comes to friendships and relationships, I feel like if you started off as friends and moved into a relationship and then it doesn't work out, moving back to a friendship is a little bit easier because you actually know where those boundaries are. But when you started with dating and went into the relationship and it doesn't work out, it's a little bit harder to draw those lines of where friendship starts and where relationships end. Is cuddling okay? Is hanging out at each other's house okay? It's really hard to figure that out if you've never really had a friendship before the relationship started. I know that in the past, a lot of my relationships ended with cheating and it made it really hard for me to ever want to be friends. I would say I'm the type of person that we can be acquaintances, meaning if I see you out in public, I'm not going to pretend you don't exist, but I'm also not going to go out of my way to see if you want to meet up to do something. So my most recent relationship ended and he wants to still remain friends, which for him, it's a little bit easier because he didn't have as much invested into the relationship because he wasn't really feeling it from the get-go and he was just hoping things would progress towards the feelings of love and all of that. Whereas I'm the type of person where I don't really date until I feel those feelings, and I felt those feelings for him. So for me, the breakup was a little bit harder and it's a little bit more of an emotional connection for me. So for me, I had to kind of decide to put a little bit of space there. And I was trying to be like an adult about it. I wanted to just be like, okay, I can do this. I can be friends with an ex-boyfriend because I'm an adult and I know how to do that. But then I realized that every single time I got a text message from him or a Snapchat from him, it was kind of like a punch in the gut because it just felt like, why are we still continuing to act exactly the same after we've broken up? Towards the end of the relationship, it kind of got to the point where he wasn't texting me, wasn't snapping me, and it was just kind of, you felt the distance. And when he actually told me he wanted to break up with me, I was kind of not shocked, but I was just like, man, I wish I had trusted my gut because I didn't, and I kind of felt this coming and it happened. But afterwards, he was sending me Snapchats of him putting up the tree and hanging out with his mom when she came to visit. And it was just like, wow, I kind of feel like I got kicked out and now I'm just kind of having it rubbed in my face that I'm no longer part of that. And I don't think that's what he was trying to do. I think he was really trying to be friends, but because of the situation and where we were at, I had emotions connected to that relationship and I just kind of got kicked out of that. So for me, it was a little bit more painful, and for me, those things meant a little bit more than to what he was trying to have them mean. So it's been about 10 years for me since my first relationship, when I got into it, and it ended pretty bad. It ended with physical violence, and it just was not a good relationship for me. But now that it's been several years, I mean, he follows me on Instagram and he's messaged me a few times, and there's no emotions connected to it anymore. I'm not really at the point in my life where I would ever really want him back in my life because it was such a negative time for me, but he's also friends with a lot of people that I know. So when it comes to him being more involved in the people around me's lives as well as mine, it doesn't hurt as much. So I feel like being friends would be okay. If he showed up to hang out with my group of friends, I would be okay with that. When it comes to relationships that have lasted a little bit longer, like my relationship with Matt, I don't really see there being a friendship at any point after that. I feel like it ended really poorly, and as mature as I would like to be about the whole situation, it ended really poorly. Communication was poor, and it just didn't come across as something that was fixable. There's also been some people that I've gone on dates with and we went out a couple times and then it just really faded away, and we kind of still remain friends. Like, we'll still talk to each other and we still follow each other on social media, and there's no really issues there. I think what it really comes down to is the relationship that you have with that person. Are you able to be friends with this person and not hurt when you talk or see each other? Are you able to go out and not want something to happen again? Because for me, in a lot of the situations, I wear my heart on my sleeve. So for me, I kind of see things and I'm like, oh, this means we're going in the right direction towards getting to know each other on this level. Ooh, we're going in the right direction. So for me, I had to cut a lot of people out just because it hurt too much for me to keep them in my life. And I'm not against being polite to someone, even if they ended it very poorly, but I'm also not going to surround myself with people that make me feel like crap. So you really only get so much space around you to fill with people that you love and care about. So if you keep holding on to exes and ex-best friends that don't really do anything for your life, at least not in a positive way, then you're really holding a space up that could be used for someone who would actually bring lots of joy into your life. So I'm the type of person that I'm going to move them out of my life. I will stay connected I'm not going to talk poorly about them or try to cause any extra drama that shouldn't be there in the first place. But I'm most definitely not going to try to continue something that has ended. I know this is kind of a hard topic to kind of talk about because it's such a broad one. There's so many different examples that you could use for each type of relationship, and everyone's relationship is so different. So I'm most definitely not telling you that if you break up with someone that you can't be their friend. It is possible. It's happened for me very few times, but it has happened. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say. If you've had any relationships that have ended and you've remained friends, leave some comments in the comment section below. I definitely love and enjoy reading them. I love talking to you guys. And if you haven't already, check out my other social medias. I've got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. But I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.